listeners. Welcome to another episode of Romance Unraveled. This is your host, Jacob Bozen.
And I'm your co-host, Savannah Van Orden.
So, for today, we have a guest. Her name is Abby Evans. I don't know her personally. We kind of have crossed path through a mutual friend, Shell Rowan, who was a co host with me in, I think it was January, but she's also been a guest on the show as well. And then, in addition to that, Abby's husband, Ryan, did an episode with us. I believe it's maybe 5 or 6 episodes ago. So, Abby, let's have you introduce yourself.
My name is Abby Evans. I don't know what else to say about myself. I like to travel. I've been married to Orion for almost 7 years. We live in Taylorsville, got two dogs, two cats. He has a daughter. He's my second marriage, and I spent a solid 10 years from age 18 to age 28 trying to date in Utah. So
Woohoo!
I got some great experiences to tell you all about.
I'm excited. I don't even know what your story is at all,
Oh,
so
great.
this will be interesting.
All right, so here's my story. So I started college in the year 2000, and I grew up in a very LDS community, but my parents stopped going to church about the time I started going to high school. So if your parents are telling a teenager they don't have to do something anymore, you know they're not going to do it, no matter what it is. It's fine. Like, oh, good, I don't have to do this thing anymore. So, I go to Utah State. I'm in my second year. I'm 19 years old, and I liked my roommates. I had friends, and I usually spent my Sundays either at one of my various jobs or sitting at the Cafe Ibis in the middle of town because I went to school in Logan and Logan's awesome. But there was this guy, it's my second year of college, and I recognized him from one of my classes earlier on. And I had thought he was cute, but I was too scared to keep looking at him because I was a super shy kid. And but we started talking about like last year's classes and this next semester and reading through the syllabus. And after a couple of classes, he asked me if I wanted to go to dinner. What? Like my little brain exploded. I hadn't dated much in college and only gone on like friend dates with guys I'd been friends with on the understanding that we're all just friends. And this was a real date. Oh my God. So wow. So I overthought my clothes as only a 19-year-old could, and I overdid my hair, the whole thing. And I hadn't been on like a real date since prom, so I was super excited. So he picked me up at my apartment, and I lived on like 7th East. And we went to Angie's. That's Logan's local favorite cafe dinner spot.
I
And
have
it's exact.
never been there actually.
Oh, you got to go there and get like the English potatoes and
Clean the
sometimes around
sink.
town. And the sink, yeah. Sometimes around town you see these bumper stickers that says you clean the sink, which, yeah, but probably meant you puked in the sink after you ate it, but that's
All
fine.
right.
Probably.
So, and anyway, so I hadn't gone to Angie's yet, and so he was excited to take me there because everybody loved Angie's, and yeah, we were seated, and he'd been funny and enjoyable, and he seemed really nice. He was super easygoing, and I was feeling really comfortable around him, so this felt like a good thing. But then I did something really bad, terrible rookie mistake when dating in Utah. I mean, in your guys' experience on the show, what are some of these horrible mistakes that you've seen that only a dumb 19-year-old in Utah could do? Any
At the
guesses?
very beginning on the first date,
Yes.
I would say I don't know because a lot of
I
these
mean,
people here are Mormon, and so it's like
oh, this
it.
I
was
mean,
something.
me being LDS, like, I couldn't even tell you, like, the worst thing I could have done on a first date. Like, maybe kiss them. I don't know.
That's what I was gonna say.
I'm like, I don't know, got to first base.
Ooh. No, no, no. This was something so appalling that this optimistic date totally crumbled to dust at the sound of two small words. You ready? Iced tea.
Oh God.
The
What?
waitress.
What?
The waitress came by to take our drink order, and I don't even remember what he ordered, but I ordered an iced tea.
Okay, so a lot of the listeners probably won't understand
No,
what
I
we're
didn't either.
talking about.
So,
Okay, so explain that.
oh, well, I'll get there. But when the waitress left, his whole demeanor had just turned cold, rigid, and flat. And I tried to start the conversation again, but it was like I had just hit this brick wall. And I was totally confused. And I finally just like awkwardly asked him if anything was wrong, if he was feeling okay, like was he sick, like what was going on. And he looked me dead in the face and asked me why I ordered an iced tea. And I said,
What?
and I said, sometimes I get iced tea and sometimes I get Dr. Pepper. What's wrong with that?
Oh, it's so funny
Well,
actually.
I know. And I'm just like, huh? And he informed me that he was a returned missionary and he had it in his head that I was also LDS rather than this, wild, savage heathen who drank something as foul as iced tea. And he nearly accused me of lying to him as if he had made this impression of who I was without, really knowing me. And I had just trampled all over this great impression. And I couldn't even think of a conversation we'd had where like churches, missions, teas, or any kind of belief in the divine had ever come up. So I was totally stunned. And the whole conversation was totally one-sided because I just froze up. Like I didn't know what to do.
I wouldn't either. I would have been like,
Oh, okay.
It's like, do you like cheese? Like off of
Can you
Oh.
imagine how scared I would have been to order dinner? I mean,
well, right. So,
yeah.
so Abby, I don't know if you're getting to this, but explain to the listeners why iced tea in his
Okay.
mind was a bad choice.
Yeah, so the LDS faith has the word of wisdom that seems to zero in on coffee, tea, and alcohol. And I mean, it's almost at the level of trying to offer, bacon to a Jewish person. Like it's really taboo for them, especially for people who are super devout. And apparently, iced tea, we've been drinking it in my family my whole life. It seems like, it's just plant water. It's healthier than pop. Like it never really, I don't know, it should have sunk in by then, but I guess it just hadn't, that you shouldn't do that with other LDS people. But it's not like I was trying to feed it to him, so I hadn't really connected the dots as a dumb kid. So it's kind of a social signal, like I'm not in the club. And LDS people like to date other LDS people, so they don't want to date outside the club, right? So I had just outed myself as someone who wasn't, active or believing or, obedient to the LDS church. And I guess he had created in his mind that I was something very different than a, devious, horrible, lying iced tea drinker.
I can speak to this a little bit as well. So,
Mhm.
I grew up Mormon as well, and like I always remember my mom, we would have like iced tea all the time. I can't remember the brand, but it was so good. And I remember being in my bishop's office one time with my whole family. I think it was like a tithing settlement meeting that we had. And I asked him, I said, what is your opinion of iced tea? And I kind of did it to put my parents on the spot.
You are devious. No.
And he's like, just avoid anything with the word tea in it. And
That
of
is so
course, like,
crazy.
Yeah.
yeah. And I just was like, it didn't make a difference to me. I was just wanting to see what would happen. But yeah, so like the Mormons, they are against tea. I think it's more lenient now than probably what it used to be, but
Yeah, 'cause this was like 20 something years ago, you know?
Well,
yeah.
like it's so crazy because like I'm still active in the church, and so like
Mhm.
these are things like because I served my mission in Germany, and everybody in Germany like drinks tea. Like that is so
Yeah,
common. Like it's just
yeah.
so normal. And then like my parents grew up, like my mom grew up LDS and like grew up drinking like iced tea and stuff like that. So it's just super interesting, I think, to see how like Jacob's bishop was like, no, like anything with like the word tea in it, avoid it. And then like there's
Yeah.
other bishops where it's like, yeah, drink it in moderation. And then in a different country, it's not even a big deal.
Yeah, and I've even had this conversation with a very well respected friend who, is very LDS and adheres to the word of wisdom. And she says it's because the black tea leaves are fermented and that's why you can't drink it. Like she had
What?
a reason that she had, I guess, made it logical. I don't know, but I was just like, huh. And then I had to go Google the fermentation of iced tea leaves, and all I did was fall in a rabbit hole. So
Interesting. I
I
was
got
always taught that it was a strictly obedience thing.
yeah, that's kind of what I feel like it is. Or and it's also a very social thing, right? So when you are being social, and especially back in like the 1800s and you're being social, you would offer people tea or coffee. And I've kind of concluded that's just kind of a way of saying we are us and they are them, you know? So if
Sure.
you go to someone's house and they offer you a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, you'll be like, "Oh, okay, so they're not part of my group, my religion." And but you know, in the 1800s, if you offered someone a Monster energy drink, that would have been cool, right?
Oh,
So,
for sure.
yeah.
Go for that. Go for Pepsi
Dead
and Coca-Cola
instantly.
all day
Yeah.
long.
So anyway, I just I didn't I think I was just a little dumb just because I was a kid and I was sitting there just blank faced and the waitress came back to take her order and I looked at her and she could kind of feel this weird tension and the guy was just being weird and so I asked her for a to-go cup and she said nothing, brought me back a little foam cup and the date said nothing and I dumped my iced tea in my to-go cup and put the lid on it. Then I dug whatever weird cash and change I had in my pocket and or maybe the bottom of my bag, I don't know, and dropped it on the table and me and my iced tea walked the 7 blocks home.
No, that's so
I
sad.
know, and I was thinking about this the whole way home, trying to figure out what just happened, and
You're just sipping on it.
yeah, while drinking my iced tea. And about 4 blocks in, I only regretted not ordering a bigger iced tea because it was kind of hot that day. So
That's wait, so you didn't even like order food or anything? Like you only got to the drinks?
yeah, only got the drinks because he just got so just kind of cold and mean, and I don't know, I just shut down. I didn't want to be there anymore. Like I didn't want to be with this person who suddenly had this judgment, this idea that had been shattered. I don't know. It felt so awkward and weird. And I'm a pretty black and white person too. So it was like, well, this date's over. And that was that.
What was he saying to you? So, like, when you were getting your to-go cup, was he just sitting there staring at you, or was he like, no, like, stay, I'll take you home? Or
Oh, he
what was
didn't say
his
a word.
reaction?
Yeah. So after he had admonished me for my iced tea and that he thought I was LDS and this and he thought this and he thought that, but I'm not these things. And why didn't you tell me? And it was, I don't know. I just froze and then he stopped talking and I stopped talking and the waitress brought me my to-go cup and I left.
How long were you there?
Oh, it couldn't have been more than, 15 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy work.
That was wild. Yeah. And so like the next semester of like I had to spend the rest of the semester and actually the next couple of years in classes with this guy because we were in the same major and I always sat on the other side of the room because I simply thought he was insane.
That is so weird.
So
Did he ever
anyway,
talk to you in class after
I
that?
kind of I don't know. I kind of avoided him and I don't know. I just had like this put off feeling and probably he did too. So like I remember we'd have to talk to each other during class for like projects and stuff, but it was just flat. Like there was nothing going on.
I think it would have been so funny if you like pulled out an iced tea from your bag and just like set it on the table.
I should just show up with those. Remember back in the day they had those big glass Arizona tea bottles?
Yeah.
That would have been
Just put a
awesome.
straw in it.
Make the straw make that terrible like sucking noise at the bottom, you know?
Oh, that would be so funny though.
Yeah, it was just weird. And so like after that I was kind of scared off from dating people in college unless I met them at the coffee shop.
You're like, this is where they're at.
Yes, this is where I go. So Logan was kind of a rough place to date if you're one of those nice middle ground people back in like the early 2000s, because people were either planning like a frat house drunken orgy or they
Oh,
were planning family home evening. Like if you were going to go to a party, it was one or the other, and you're like, I just want to go see a rated R movie, you know?
that's
So
so wild.
so yeah, being like this nice middle ground kid, I had a hard time with the social aspect of college, but
So this is like a random question after that. Did you ever like go on a date with like another person of like the LDS faith? Or was he like the one and only person you went on a date with that was LDS?
no, actually, I went out with a guy through grad school he was really fun. He'd go out with all of us. I mean, it wasn't like he was a big drinker or anything, but we really had a good time. And then, and I'd been in grad school with him. And then all of a sudden, after the summer that we'd all had fun and he was going off to do, something else for school, a friend of mine emailed me a link on Facebook showing that he was engaged to some other girl. And I'm like, wait, I thought we were dating. And he definitely had been lying to a bishop somewhere if he was getting married in the temple. Because I'm like, I knew what you did 3 months ago. So
Oh my gosh. Well,
yeah, so
I was curious because like I feel like with I mean obviously like I don't know because I'm LDS, but like I think like it's interesting how like you have this one experience with this guy and then you can have a completely different experience with somebody else who's of the faith.
oh,
And so it's
absolutely,
just
yeah,
like interesting to see how people can go from being like Molly Mormon, like the term Molly Mormon,
yeah.
to people who are just like, oh yeah, like I believe it. I don't necessarily practice it all the time, whatever it is. So it's just
Hmm.
interesting to see like the people that you find, I guess, so to say.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was strange. Like I went to, I lived in DC for a while, and you're kind of in that same Utah group, so dating within that group was pretty rough because I mean you're pretty much just axed out of the possibility of being seriously dated by this group of people. So you kind of have to go find your own cohort of, mellow heathens to hang out with if you want to really get a good date. So,
Well, dating in DC in itself is a nightmare anyways.
oh, do you have that experience?
Oh, yes.
Oh my
Most of
gosh.
my like really bad dating stories are from DC. For sure. And I was only there for 3 years.
Oh, I was there for about 1 year. That was enough. I came
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, after that, like if I met up with someone, it was either for coffee or a beer, just like it was like this protective idea, like I don't want to fool anybody. I want them to be sure they know what we're doing. It was a really maybe an over the top reaction by me, but I know and love and respect a lot of LDS people, but I never really dated LDS guys after that.
Well,
Yeah.
that's like so sad though, because I mean, obviously, I don't know what you guys do like on a first date, but like I definitely like don't dive into like my teachings or my beliefs. It's like
Yeah.
I more so want to see if like I have a vibe with you versus like, oh yeah, by the way, like I'm LDS. This is what I believe, and I just feel like that's so weird.
It's because you're a
Yeah.
different kind of Mormon, Savannah.
Oh, is she? I don't know, Savannah. So
Oh gosh.
It's
I feel
true.
like me and Orion on our first date, we were both like 35 years old and fresh off of new divorces. We pretty much just started talking about our crappy marriages, and somehow that helped us bond.
Yeah, like do you
Yeah.
form a relationship in a different aspect over rather than like faith first, like not like saying it like that, but like just going on a date, like talking about religion the first time, I feel like I would be so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think that's why I just shut up and I stopped talking. Like I didn't know what to do because I thought I was following every happy social norm up to that point until bam.
I would have just been like, "Can I actually get two?"
I know, right? Even about 2 blocks from home, I'm like, dang, it's empty.
Maybe they had an
Oh,
iced tea ice cream too.
Oh, I
oh,
know,
that would be
right?
so good.
I
They have
know.
like the green tea matcha ice cream. That stuff's pretty good.
Mm.
You can get that like in Thailand, but no, and the ironic thing was I kind of lived in this apartment, but behind it there were like other cheaper apartments, and as I walked past through my parking lot, I could smell the weed coming out of the apartment behind mine, and I'm like, wow, some guys won't let you drink iced tea. These guys over here are smoking pot. Like, I don't even know who my people are here.
Just go knock on the door. Do you guys allow iced tea?
Can I drink my iced tea with you while you're smoking pot on your porch? Like, so,
Oh,
but,
okay. So
you get, yeah, sorry.
clarify this for me.
Sure.
So I may have missed this completely, and I apologize if I did.
Okay.
So have not been Mormon at all, or you were Mormon at the time you went on this date, and he flipped at you over the iced tea.
Well, my mother was quite devout. Both my parents met at BYU and were married in the Provo Temple. But they got older and they're, they grow up, they change. And my mother, when I was about 14 or 15, decided she was done being LDS. And in my dad's world, he was a farmer. So on Sundays, you got to pick between church or chores. And my mom and my sister always picked church, and me and my brother always picked chores. So I guess
That
I just,
tells you a lot.
yeah, it's like, oh, it's -20 outside and we have to feed cows. I'll take chores, So that may speak to my attitude about church. But I did enjoy going as a kid and being around my friends and doing like the social stuff, but I never got too deep into the doctrine. I've
Okay.
always been very casual about all that. So when mom got mad and decided we weren't going anymore, I was just kind of like, oh, cool. And then the deep reality of the only choice now is chores. It was like, oh wait.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so I was just asking just because I was like, if you were Mormon at the time, I was gonna see what your perspective was on Ice-T because obviously his reaction was very hard line, black and white, and
yes.
yours was like, what the crap is going on? But I guess it makes sense that you were probably from the perspective of thinking like, what? Like,
Yeah, no, I
what's
was totally
this?
blindsided by this.
Yeah,
Like I
okay.
knew alcohol was bad, like as a kid and a 19-year-old, I knew alcohol was bad and you don't touch alcohol. Like, I was a good kid that way, but I just didn't think iced tea was quite as bad as whiskey. So,
That's a funny comparison. I like that.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, after that, I mean, I think I met my first husband at a coffee shop, and then I met Orion at the Red Rock and watched him drink a beer before I got too comfortable. So,
Well, that we'll take it. That
yeah.
works, you know.
So,
Savannah, I'm interested in hearing your perspective. So, um, this is kind of going off of like the topic of what the podcast is about, but I think people might find it interesting. So, like from our perspective, tea is like normal. It wasn't when I was growing up because I was Mormon, but since you are a Mormon now, like if let's say you went on a date with somebody and they're like, I'm a tea drinker. How would you handle that situation, Savannah?
I honest would be like, okay, and
yeah, I know,
what?
right?
I mean, but that's the thing is like I love tea, like, and that's something like I do struggle with is the word of wisdom. Like I'll own that 100%.
Hmm.
Because I love fruit tea, green tea, black tea, like
Hmm.
herbal tea, whatever it is, like anything with the word tea in it, I love it. So like if somebody said that, I mean, I honestly would probably like if I was like on a date with my boyfriend and there was like a table next to me where somebody like made the same comment that like the guy that you went out with, I probably would say something and be like, "Excuse you, like what's wrong with you?"
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, this
Because
is like,
like it's
yeah.
so it's not that deep. Like it's genuinely not that deep. So like my perspective and obviously Jacob, like you know my personality too. So for me it would just kind of be like, okay, I don't care. Like sounds good.
Exactly, yeah. Like I can't even remember what this kid ordered. Like
Like order
I
me
didn't
one, I
care.
guess too. Like let's try
Yeah.
each other's.
No, I'm kind of I'm looking back, like this conversation is bringing back some funny memories. Like maybe this was some kind of like core memory that messed up my personality. But one time I was down in Bryce Canyon and I was at Ruby's Inn and I'd been hiking and taking pictures. And I'm an artist. I love to paint and watercolor and draw. And so I'd taken some cool pictures and I was sitting at a table by myself and I was working on my little artwork and I ordered a margarita. Well, this guy, like older couple, I guess, were sitting next to me and the guy made kind of the older man made a like a scoffing noise about my margarita. And so, I was testing him again just to see was he like judging my margarita? So I ordered another one, and then he again made some snarky comment to his wife about me getting a second margarita. You know what, guys? I spent like $75 and was so fall down drunk by the end of that night just because I had so much fun irritating that man. I painted no pictures. And it was totally worth the hangover the next day because I could just tell it was bothering him that I, a complete stranger, was having like 30 margaritas.
I love that. I would probably do the same.
Yes. And
Another
I
one, please.
Yes, and now I'm like deeply rooted in the regret that I didn't drink iced tea around this kid in every single class for the next 3 years.
Oh, I would have totally done that. That would have just been like the most pure comedy thing for me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so anyway, there's my sad and sorry love story.
I love it. Like this was so fun. Like thank you for telling this story. I guess we can call it the date that ended over iced tea or something
Yes,
like that.
The
Um,
icebreaker.
the
no,
icebreaker.
seriously. Yeah, yeah,
Death by iced tea.
Well,
yeah.
I just like want to say from like my perspective, like being an active member is like I genuinely feel bad for your experience because like me as a person, like I would feel so awful if like I went on a date and like I ruined a date over a drink. Like so like I feel bad that you had that experience, but I'm also like glad that you had like another person in your life who was completely like who was LDS as well, like that responded differently. So like obviously
Hmm.
nobody wants to feel like that, and like you being on edge after that and like only wanting to like go to coffee shops and like get a coffee or a beer rather than just being like, you know what, like to hell with it. Like I like this drink. I'm gonna drink it anyway.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean,
But
good for you to like obviously get up and leave. Like that's props to you for sure.
yeah, I mean, it kind of brings us full circle because Orion, his date was ended by a drink, but that's because that girl was so drunk she fell down the stairs. So
Right.
the
That's
iced tea
right. Oh
romance
my
started by
God.
this.
Yeah. That's
So,
funny. Okay,
okay.
well, thanks, Abby. Savannah, this is your last episode with us for the month. If you want, you don't have to. I guess hearing and other people's stories and talking about your own, what has been your takeaway from this experience?
Oh my goodness. There's been like so much, but I think honestly like the biggest takeaway is that like this is what we talked about right before is just like tell your story, like because there's other people that need to hear it and other people who are going through the same stuff and they're just maybe scared to say what they want to say because they're scared of like the reaction of somebody else, but ultimately like it's your feelings and like these are the things that you went through, and that's important to tell other people because you don't ever know who you're going to influence or maybe change their day. So it's been super fun. Like I've honestly loved doing this and I love that it's like helped us rekindle and everything like that. So thank you so much for letting me do it. Like I love listening to these and I love like hearing other people's stories. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, it's been fun. Well, thank you to both of you. For the listeners, as always, make sure you subscribe and save. We're streaming anywhere you can get your podcasts. And make sure you rate us as well. This does help us with the algorithms in the different systems. And then make sure you follow us on social media. It's Romance Unraveled on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you have a story you'd like to share, you can reach out to me directly on one of those platforms and I'll get you scheduled to come on to the show. Until next time.